All right. How are you?
Good.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right.
I'm going to show you what we have been working on at my house, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. I have to share my screen. I hope it works today. This has been a little temperamental, which means sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not. Okay, good. All right, so do you see this picture?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Puzzle.
Yes. Do you know how many pieces are in this puzzle?
I don't know.
2,000.
2,000?
Yeah, it's 2,000. And
Wow.
I did not do any of this. Kristen did this puzzle with her friend Monica, but I will show you one thing. Watch this when I zoom in on it. Ready? You notice anything?
Look. Oh, it's lost one.
Yeah, we did find it though, so that was good. So this is showing, that's the puzzle. You can see up here is the box. It says 2,000. This is a picture of the puzzle we're working on right now. I just sent a picture of it to your mom's line. This is what the box looks like right here. This is a puzzle we did 2 years ago that has 2,000 pieces. This was my favorite puzzle. And last summer we did this puzzle. It had 1,500 pieces. And this is going to be the next puzzle we do. Do you see how many pieces are in this puzzle?
Oh, 3,000.
I know, that's going to be our hardest one. And I would like, well, this one also has 3,000 pieces. Do you know what we call that red and white thing?
I know. It is night and the boat is on the light will go on.
Yeah, it's called a lighthouse. This is another lighthouse. This one is my favorite. But can you tell?
400. 400.
Not 400. Try again.
400.
4,000.
400.
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do this one because I think that would be too hard, but I sure like the picture. That's also a lighthouse.
I can use the 4,000. I can last time I used one puzzle and it is 5,000.
No way. 5,000 or 500?
my friend. Hello.
Yes.
I see.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you ready for our new story?
Yes.
All right. Well, this is not Hero Mice. What's this one called?
Spacemice.
Spacemice. Do you ever think you want to go out into outer space someday and be an astronaut?
Yes.
Would that be fun?
Yes.
You know,
and I will jump on the moon.
You want to?
Yes.
You know, when we were reading The Invisible Thief, Miss Camp said, I am not cut out to be an astronaut because I think I would not want to be stuck on a spaceship for a long time. I would feel just stuck. So, but this series is called Spacemice, and the name of this is the first one in the series, and it's called, you know what this word is?
Alien.
Alien escape. So alien is a word we use in English to mean someone, well, it has two meanings. Usually when we say the word alien, we're talking about someone who lives on a different planet. Now, do you think there are people who live on other planets?
No.
Most people agree with you. Some people say, we don't know, we can't prove it, we don't know, yes or no. So some people say maybe, but I think most people say no. So if we have a story where there are people who live on other planets, we call that kind of story science.
Alien.
We call it science fiction. Fiction means that it's not true, that it's just a pretend story. And it's called science fiction because it means that it probably is taking place in the future. And so if it's taking place in the future, then maybe things can happen in the future that can't happen today, because maybe in the future, people have come up with new inventions that we don't have today. For example, today, people don't usually drive around in a car that's up in the air, right? When we drive cars today, the wheels are on the ground, driving on a road. But do you know that some companies are working on making a car, inventing a car that can drive in the air?
Yes, I know that car.
So
But it cannot stop on the air. It cannot stop on the air.
So it has to come down to the ground to stop?
Yes, it cannot stop on the air.
Well, maybe someday when you are an adult, people will be driving in cars in the air. But right now, most people drive in cars that are on the ground. But people are always inventing new things. So maybe someday people will drive in the air all the time. So we don't know what people will have in the future. We don't know what inventions there will be. So if you want to write a story that takes place in the future, which means not now, then you can use your imagination to come up with all sorts of inventions that don't exist yet, that no one has invented yet, except for in your imagination. And you can pretend that in the future, they are real and people are using them all the time. And if you write that kind of story that takes place in the future with new inventions that we don't have today, but maybe we will in the future, that kind of story is called science fiction. And that is what this Geronimo Stilton is. It's a science fiction story because you can see on the front cover of the book, they are going to another planet and they will meet aliens who are the people who live on other planets. The other meaning of the word alien is not very exciting. It's what we call someone who is living in one country but was not born there. They don't have a passport from that country. For example, I was not born in Taiwan. I do not have a passport from Taiwan. My passport is from the United States. So for me to live in Taiwan, I have this card that is called my ARC. And it has my picture on it and my name and my address. And it says that I have permission to live in Taiwan, even though I am not Taiwanese. The A of ARC stands for alien. The A is alien, R is resident. That means I can live here, ARC. What's the C stand for? I don't know. My alien resident card. Maybe it's a card, I don't know. But the A is for alien. So it can be a person who's just living in a country that they weren't born in and they needed to get permission to live there. But most people, especially American kids, if you hear the word alien, you're thinking, oh, outer space, people who live on other planets. And this is called Alien Escape. So when we see these three characters here, do you think one of them is Geronimo?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a green one.
The green one. Now, in Hero Mice, we met Priscilla and Lady Wonder Whiskers. And I know that this girl in pink, well, actually, she doesn't look like Priscilla or Lady Wonder Whiskers. She is a girl, but she is Geronimo's sister. And I have a book. I might have to show it tomorrow.
It is his little sister or bigger.
I think, well, it is his sister. I don't know if it's younger or older, but it is his sister, Thea. And so we're going to meet our characters. I'm clearing my throat today. I forgot to get some water. Okay, so you're doing the same thing. Well, when we read Hero Mice, we had the good guys, Hero Mice, and we had the bad guys, who were the sewer rats. So we had a lot of characters in that book. In this book, they're only introducing us to the Spacemice.
But this book didn't have the bad guy, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it has I don't think it has bad guys. I think these people are the people who are on the spaceship. So they are a team, and I think they are exploring space together. Remember, explore means to go and look for things that you haven't found before. So Geronimo wears green. And, you know, if we look at his name, we can see the Stilton. And then the way they made his name sound like, I don't know, like in the future in space, is they added the X. So his regular name is Geronimo Stilton. But I don't think we read this one Stilton X. I have a feeling we read this, the way I would read this is Stiltonics. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I probably, if I saw this, I would probably read it Stiltonics, Geronimo Stiltonics. I don't think I would read it Geronimo Stiltonics, but Geronimo Stiltonics, Geronimo Stiltonics. I sure wish I knew which one was right, but and then this is his, I think this is his cousin, Trap. Trap. I don't know, it really looks like Stiltonics to me. Stiltonics, Trap, Stiltonics, Stiltonics. Boy, I'm gonna have to research that and see if I can figure that out. This is Thea, his sister. Here we have his grandfather. Now, this is a, I would say this is robotics. Robotics. And we can see the word robot in here. Robotics. And then here we have Benjamin and Bugsy Wugsy. I think Bugsy Wugsy is an awfully silly name.
I see Bugsy Wugsy in the last time
in the Venice
see,
book.
Yes, the Venice book.
Yeah, I don't have, I think I took that one back to the library. Okay, this book was written on the copyright page. We can find out a couple good things here. It was written in 2013, and the real author's name is right here, Edizione Piemi. That's an Italian name because we can see right here that he is from Italy. That's where he wrote the book. And then it was translated into English in 2014. Okay. Well, I think I will go ahead and read this. It says, in the darkness of the farthest galaxy in time and space is a spaceship inhabited exclusively by mice. This fabulous vessel is called the Mouse Star 1, and I am its captain. I am Geronimo Stilton, a somewhat accident-prone mouse who, to tell you the truth, would rather be writing novels than steering a spaceship. But for now, my adventurous family and I are busy traveling around the universe on exciting intergalactic missions. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started with chapter 1. Now he's going to start out. Remember, this author with his chapter titles likes to have the words start with the same sound. Do you remember what we call that?
Yes.
I will put it right here and you tell me when you remember what it is. Alliteration. Alliteration. That's alliteration. Alliteration is when we have 2 or 3 words next to each other that begin with the same sound, like galactic, Gorgonzola. Now remember that this author likes to use lots of different names of cheese, and Gorgonzola is a kind of cheese. Galactic is talking about outer space. I don't know what outer space and cheese have to do with each other, but we'll start reading and see. It was a calm morning in space aboard the Mouse Star 1. That's the name of his spaceship. The most fabulous spaceship in the universe. Now, I don't know if you've heard the word universe before. Have you ever heard it?
I know.
Universe is bigger than our solar system. It's the biggest amount of space that exists. So I need to show you a picture of the universe. Let's see here.
I know how it's universe.
Okay, well, these are kind of showing pictures of outer space, right? So let me first show you our solar system. So here's the solar system of planet Earth. Okay, this is our solar system. So you can see that there's the sun, and then there are some planets that go around the sun, right?
But I didn't see the moon.
They do not seem to be showing the moon going around Earth, do they? Let's pick out a different picture then. Let's see. How about this one?
Moon is going yes, there is a moon.
You can
by
see
the
moon, right?
Earth. Yeah.
So these planets that are going around the sun, these planets going around the sun, this is our solar system. I wonder if I can get a, here, I'll show this picture here. No, maybe this one. Okay, so in that bright, well, this one's not showing the moon, but the bright circle in the middle is the sun. And then those white circles that are going around it show the path of each planet that goes around the sun, and it travels around the sun again and again and again.
100 times. Earth go around sun 1 time is 1 year.
That's right. Yep. Actually, for every planet, 1 year is however long it takes to go around that sun. I think I saw that somewhere here.
Okay.
Right here. You see this picture? The Earth takes 365 days to go around the Earth. So if you're on planet Earth, then 365 days is 1 year. But if you're on Mercury, see Mercury right here, it only takes 88 Earth days to go around the sun. So after it's been 88 days here on Earth, Mercury will have another year, right? Because it only takes 88 of our days on Earth for Mercury to go around the sun. This one, Venus, I think that's supposed to be a dot, not a comma. So that takes about 224 days on Earth for Venus to go around the sun 1 time.
Years. That 29 years.
You know, I think that some of those numbers, I don't trust those numbers. Those commas don't make sense to me. So I think we better not use this particular site information. But however long it takes here's a picture of the planets going around the sun. However long it takes a planet to go around the sun 1 time equals 1 year on that planet. So the word solar system, do you see this right here? S-O-L-A-R. Well, S-O-L means sun or star. And the sun is a star and it has planets that go around it. So the solar system that we live in means all of the planets that go around our sun. But there are many other stars, right? And each of those stars could be the sun of its own solar system that have planets going around it. Okay, but they're so far away, they're not in our solar system, they're so far away that we don't know. But the universe is our solar system plus every other solar system that exists. You know, every single star in outer space. Now, in our solar system, the only star is our sun. And these are the planets that go around our sun. But all of the other stars and any planets that go around them, and any moons that go around planets, these are all part of the universe. So the universe is very, very big, right? Okay, one thing, we saw this back at the beginning of Hero Mice. And we remember that the author likes to change words. So he put
famous.
No.
Famous.
No, that would be famouse. This is fabu mouse. So what should the word really be?
Famous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. La la la. They really changed this one quite a bit. It actually should be fabulous. Fabulous means fantastic. Okay, it means super duper awesome. So Geronimo is very excited about his spaceship. Okay, so here, remember, Geronimo always forgets to introduce himself at the beginning of a story. And so when we see our pronouns like we and I, we don't actually know who it is yet. Now you and I do, because we know Geronimo Stilton and we know that he forgets to introduce himself, but he has not introduced himself yet as being the person who's telling the story. So we can see the we and the I, and we know there's a character in the story who's telling us the story, but we don't know that person yet. We were traveling at super warp speeds. This warp speed, we can ignore the super. Remember, the author loves to put the word super in front of everything. So we can forget super for a minute. But warp speed is a word that people who write science fiction and who talk about space travel and spaceships and characters who are traveling around in space, they love to say warp speed. It means super, super fast. in the far off Cheddar galaxy. Okay, so that's outside of our solar system in some other galaxy or group of stars. I was still asleep in my cabin. Okay, so if you're on a ship, every bedroom is called a cabin. If it's a ship on the water or a spaceship in the sky, if it's a ship, we call your bedroom your cabin. I was asleep in my cabin, snoring blissfully. We learned this word in Mice. Blissfully means very happy. When someone appeared behind me, sneakily took hold of my blanket and shouted in a robotic voice. Let's see if we can figure out how to sound like a robot. Something like, yellow alert, yellow alert, yellow alert. Because robots don't really make their voice go up and down like people do. They just
Yellow alert, yellow alert, yellow alert.
Yep. And don't forget that sneakily, that comes from the word sneaky.
Sneakily.
Right.
Sneaky.
Sneaky is someone who's very tricky. All right, and they shouted in a robotic voice. That's sounding like a robot. Yellow alert does not sound good. Oh, I guess that person sounded like a robot because it is a robot. We can see here is Geronimo sleeping in his bed. That's a pretty, wow, that looks like a science fiction kind of bed. Look at all those controls he has of things he can do. I wonder what all that can do. There's the robot. My eyes flew open as if I'd been stung by a swarm of space bees. Huh, I don't even want to imagine being stung by a swarm of space bees. It was Assistatrix, my personal assistant robot. Galactic Gorgonzola, I squeaked. What is it? What's wrong? Have aliens invaded? Did a meteorite hit the spaceship? All right, we've got a couple of words we want to look at real quick. First of all, if we're talking about a bunch of bees, like bumblebees,
妈，
buzz, buzz,
做梦的英文怎么说
we would say swarm.
？It is a dream.
You think this is a dream?
Yes.
Well, if this was a realistic book, then yes, it would be a dream. But this is not a book that is realistic, which means this book cannot really happen in real life. This is a pretend science fiction book, okay? So this is not actually a dream. This is...
that is Geronimo's dream.
No, I don't think this is... Why? Did you look ahead? I don't think this is Geronimo's dream. I think this is taking place in the future. Not today, not present time, but in the future. So far in the future, they have spaceships and other planets and galaxies and robots, and this could not happen today. So this story is called science fiction. It means it happens a long time in the future, maybe 100 years or 500 years in the future, okay? We have to use our imagination, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, but when we're talking about bees, we use the word swarm, a swarm of bees. Let's see here. We talked about aliens. The word invaded is a word we sometimes use with aliens. Invade means to go into someone else's place without permission. We talk about, did aliens invade? Like, have aliens come down to our planet? You also might say that ants invaded our picnic, right? If we're outside sitting on the ground, having a picnic on a blanket, just having a happy time, and all of a sudden a bunch of ants start crawling across the blanket, heading towards our watermelon or our chocolate cake, we would say, we're being invaded by ants. So invaded would be people who are anything that's coming in without being invited. And maybe they are not coming in to be nice. Maybe they're coming in to do something that we don't want them to do. But I think he's just being kind of silly right here. Now, have you heard of the word meteorite? A meteorite would be, it's kind of like an asteroid. It's a big rock out in space that's kind of flying through space really fast. And if it hits something, then it could go kaboom. It could cause some damage on that planet. In fact, there's a theory. Have you ever seen the movie Ice Age?
Yeah.
Let me show you a picture of what it looks like. Ice Age, the movie. All right. Have you ever seen any of these movies?
Yes.
You have? So in the movie, there's a woolly mammoth, right? So you can see that big animal with the big tusks. Okay, that's called a woolly mammoth. Do we still have those on Earth today?
No.
No? And you see this tiger, he's called a saber-toothed tiger. Do we still have saber-toothed tigers on Earth today?
No.
No, but a long time ago, they were on Earth, right? What else was on Earth a long time ago? Dinosaurs, right? Well, what happened to the dinosaurs? What happened to the woolly mammoth? What happened to the saber-toothed tigers?
I know. The volcano.
Some people think that
Some people think volcano something. Some people think rocks. Boom.
yeah, well, a meteorite would be a rock going boom, okay? So let me show you a quick picture of a meteorite. Meteorite. All right, so here, this is what a meteorite could look like. Just a rock, right?
Yes.
But this one, well, this is not a good picture here, but this would be a meteorite.
Meteorite will fall. Will fall.
Yeah. So here's a meteorite coming through space, okay? And it's going very fast. And if it hits the planet, if it hits Earth, it might cause a problem, okay? Okay, so Geronimo just wants to sleep. And so his robot assistant is saying, yellow alert, yellow alert. That means something's wrong. And so Geronimo wakes up and he's like, what? What is it? What's wrong? Have aliens come aboard our ship? Is a meteorite coming? Is it going to hit the ship? I mean, what's the emergency? Why do you need to wake me up? And oops, I have that page 2 times. And then his assistant just says, good morning, Captain Stiltonix. Assistatrix announced in his metallic voice. It's 7 o'clock intergalactic time. It's time to get up, time to get up, time to get up. Assistatrix, how many times have I told you not to wake me up with the yellow alert? I grumbled. Couldn't you use a more relaxing alarm like the symphony of the galaxies? Negative, Captain, he replied. The yellow alert is the only one that works with you. Now get up, get up, get up. A long mechanical arm extended from a compartment in Assistatrix's back. The arm grabbed me by the tail and lifted me up like a fish on a hook. Help, I squeaked. Put me down. We're going to be stopping there, but first let's just take a quick look at some of the words on this page. Let's see. You can highlight these in blue if you have your iPad there. Metallic. Metallic, I don't know how you could have a metallic voice, but I would imagine that's another way of saying a robotic voice because the robot is made out of metal. I don't know that intergalactic really means anything. Inter is a prefix that means between. So between galaxies is what that would mean. But I think they're just kind of making that up, you know, as a time zone, as what time it is. You know, for example, here in Taiwan right now it is around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but in New York, in America, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. Or at my mom and dad's house in Colorado, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. So you can, you know, different places on Earth have a different time zone, and it's not the same time in all of the different places of the world. So I think they're just, you know, if this author wants to write a story that takes place in the future, in outer space, he's going to have to make up some words. He's going to have to make up some ideas. He's going to have to use a lot of imagination. And one thing he's making up is, what should I call the time zone out here in some other solar system or some other galaxy? And so I think he just came up with the word intergalactic. And grumble is a good word. Grumbled is a word that means said, but we're saying it in a way that's, I'm not happy, like that. Relaxing is, can't you wake me up in a way that just feels nice, you know, that I can just relax and be calm and happy and not all like, oh, what's happening right now, but just, oh, great, it's a new day. And a symphony is the music that is played by an orchestra with violins and violas and cellos and flutes and.
But he said the yellow alarm is calling. Let's work with you now. Get up, get up, get up.
That's right. That's very funny. A compartment is kind of like a box, like a door. You open up the door and you can pull out a drawer, and inside it you can put things, and that would be a compartment. So it's kind of like there must be a door in the back of the robot, and you can open it up and something can come out. And what comes out of this one is an arm. So it grabbed me by the tail and lifted me up like a fish on a hook. That helps us understand what this looks like, because we know what it looks like to pull a fish out of the water with a fishing pole and have a hook at the end of the line. Okay, so I'm going to put my star right here.
And now I'll pick at the next page.
All right, now what do you want for a color for the star? Do you want yellow, green, pink, red, blue, purple, or orange?
Blue.
Blue. All right. Let me hit save. And I will stop the share. Well, I don't know. We're not going to say so long cheddar chip for this book, right? What should we say at the end of our class?
Yellow alert.
Yellow alert, yellow alert. That's not really a way of saying goodbye. We'll have to look for a good one. Maybe it will come to us. For right now, I think I'm going to say so long.
Cheddar chip.
Have a good night.